What's going on, guys? So I don't know if this stuff matters to you or not, but I did a collaboration about a year ago with Texas Pride Trailers where they challenged me to help them design a trailer that they thought would be like the coolest, most compact, useful, everyday, normal yard trailer that you could get. And this is what we came up with, right? This is a 7 by 10 foot trailer, super low profile. It's like 30 something inches to the top of the rail there. Tow it around with the tractor, we can tow it around with the Denali, we can tow it around with an SUV. This thing is like 3,000 pounds dry, and it has a 10,000 pound GVWR. This is probably the most used trailer around here because it is tree trimming season and we are trimming trees all over the property. We're loading them up. This is going to be the first of about 15 loads probably, and we are moving over to the larger 14-foot Texas Pride dump trailer. This thing has been an absolute workhorse. Then we crush it down with the excavator, take this back out, and start loading it up again. But boy, this thing has absolutely been 100% the most useful trailer we've had out here on the property, and they're super affordable. These are the types of trailers that when you go to Lowe's or Home Depot, people in the parking lot are like, where did you get that thing? Well, the folks over at Texas Pride make these, and yeah, just a really great trailer, especially considering we got this one equipped with the telescopic boom on the end, because most times you're not going to get that. In most cases, you're going to get a scissor lift or a dual ram, and you know me, I'm a big fan of those telescoping lifts up front. Anyways, just wanted to share that with you. We got a lot of work to do today. We're still at it. Well, so it's the next day, and I think I may have overloaded it a little bit. Not from a weight perspective, but from a material perspective. The load that we loaded on video was one of 4 loads, and if you saw how much branch and material we put inside of this trailer in that first load, it was pretty much full. So my wife came out and she's like, why don't you compact it down with the excavator? And I said, because I've compacted it down as far as it'll compact, and what you saw originally was only the first, and we were able to get this thing completely loaded up. I got more material and debris hanging out here. I put the bucket on the front of the excavator because I was able to use the thumb to grab material a little easier. Problem is I scooped into the yard in a couple areas, but we were able to get this compacted down pretty well. I'm going to let it sit for a while just so I can get it to kind of compact itself a little bit. It'll start dying and getting a little further in there. Then we'll go and we'll trim off anything that's hanging over the edge and anything that's hanging up top so we can get the tarp over it so I can haul this stuff out of here. But yeah, this trailer is absolutely been a tank. And one way that I compact this down with the bucket and the excavator definitely puts a lot of stress up here. You can actually see the front of this thing moving quite a bit. If you didn't see the video I did on this really cool Gen Y front adapter, which I have not actually used yet. So whenever we take this to the landfill, it'll be the first time I use this. It's gonna be really interesting to see how it performs. But yeah, this is the most frequently used trailer overall in terms of leaving the property and taking stuff to where it needs to go. And it has worked absolutely flawlessly. And now this was the first trailer that I got from the folks over at Texas Pride. And what I can tell you about Texas Pride trailers is that they're not going to be what I consider to be the most high-end trailer you can buy. When you're looking at a Texas Pride trailer, there will be other models that have some cool features, some cool technology, some cool engineering, things that are done. They might be a little bit lighter, but at the end of the day, the reason why I chose Texas Pride is because the value. I think ultimately, above almost anything, people want value. And what I mean by that is this is a trailer that accomplishes any task I throw at it, that we use the snot out of, that holds up really well, even to the excavator bucket hitting it multiple times when I'm crushing it and putting in the amount of weight and downward pressure that I put in here to compact all this stuff inside of it. And it just holds up, and it does a great job at a price point that most people can afford. The challenge with a lot of folks when they're looking and shopping for trailers is you'll see something like this compared to another brand. And people are like, well, you should have gotten that other brand. And I totally get that every brand has its fans. The challenge sometimes is when people make the claim that you should get this other brand, they're not doing it from a value perspective. They're doing it from a feature, an engineering, and a pure cosmetic perspective, that it looks better, that I've seen these commercial operators using it, and it's a better trailer overall. Now, most dump trailers, I believe, accomplish the job that they were designed to do. Even if you get the cheapest one or you get the most expensive one, they do what they're designed to do. And they will probably do it for a good long time as long as you maintain the trailer. You grease it up, you maintain it, you check for any type of issues, you don't try to destroy it, you try to treat it like it's a tool that you need to last. And I feel, again, if you maintain the stuff you own, it will last a long time, just like RVs or just like anything else that you purchase. Now, the reason, again, I chose Texas Pride is that it's about half the price of the trailers a lot of people say you should get. And typically, again, the people saying that you should get those trailers are getting those trailers for a lot of reasons. They're getting them because they need a trailer that meets a certain weight criteria. They're getting them because it's a trailer that's nearby to them. Because I can't say functionally it's going to be a better trailer. It accomplishes the task and it does it in a reliable way. And I think that that's what most people are looking for. And that's one of the reasons the brand Texas Pride has grown to be as large as they are, is because they give you a lot of features, a lot of function, a lot of capability in a value-oriented price that a lot of people can afford. And I think that's the goal of most people buying stuff. I would love to go out and just say, hey, I can always get the most expensive thing because that's what I want. But the reality of it is my money's limited and I have to get the best bang for my buck. And I back that up by saying, you know what, I could have gone out and gotten, a Riverstone fifth wheel. Lord knows I talk about them and I say they're amazing. I could have gone out and gotten a DRV or gotten a Lux or gotten a Brinkley or gotten some other brand. But the fifth wheel we bought was half that price, which means I was able to pay it off. I was able to get something that did exactly what we need it to do. I maintain it. I keep an eye on it. I make sure that it is able to do what we want to do and I'm not overdoing it with the fifth wheel. And at the end of the day, it meets the criteria I'm looking for and I saved over half the cost versus some of these other brands. So if I can get a Texas Pride trailer that does absolutely every single thing I need it to do, I think it looks great. I think it functions well, and sure, it may be a little heavier. It may not have some of the cool cosmetic features built into it, but it does everything I need to do and I save half the cost versus another brand. That's a win for me. And I think it's a win for a lot of folks. And I think that's the same reason why some brands of tools, some brands of RVs, some brands of generators, some brands of equipment tends to be more popular, because you can save the cost and still get all the features and functions that you're looking for in something that's going to last you as long as you're going to use it, as long as you maintain it. Anyways, guys, we have a lot more work to do. We have a lot more trees that still need to be trimmed. So this is only about half of the total number of loads that we're going to need to complete before we get this entire job done. And then we'll reload this thing a few more times. Anyways, guys, I sure hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and we'll talk to you again very soon.